we have to be very careful with thinking that we need everything. The more stuff that we feel like we need, the more stuff that we get, the less time we're being creative, aren't we? The more time that we're trying to learn the new thing, and maybe liking it, maybe we jive with it, maybe we don't. Yo, what's up guys, Khordmaster here. So I wanna have a little chat about this right here. So this is called the OPZ. If you've been following this channel for a while, you would definitely know that I'm a massive fan of this piece of hardware. And I recently got my hands on a second one. So shout out to Teenage Engineering. I reached out to them asking if they had a second OPZ, not because my first one needs replacement, but because I really thought about it and realized that I could really use a second one of these to use in my workflow. And I'm really excited to have this today. They sent me this, they sent me the duty bag and a few of the modules here. The OP Lab module, the line module, and the rumble module. I think those are the three. And so I want to talk about why I'm excited about this and why I felt like I needed a second one and how I plan to use this. They also sent me one other thing that I didn't really even know existed, but the, I don't remember the name, but the little plugs that you put into the dials here to turn them into knobs. And so here's the thought process. My OPZ that's at home, my original one, I was using that in live streams recently. And I was doing like stuff on the piano and improvising over my beats and stuff, and it was like a lot of fun. So the way I kind of design it, like each project has, you know, X number, I think 10, if I'm not mistaken, number of patterns in them. But in my case, each of my projects, every individual pattern in the project was its own beat, like its own unique beat, as opposed to each project being like having 10 variations of the same beat, if that makes sense. I kind of like use mine different than I think a lot of other people use theirs. And so what happened is like most of the patterns are taken up currently on my original OPZ. There's like a huge bumblebee outside my car right now. Massive, like it's like this big. It's not that big. And so this is the device that I find so much joy using. I really enjoy making music on it. I really enjoy the discovery aspect. I really enjoy the fact that it feels like a video game, right? Like a handheld video game. I enjoy the fact that it's so small that I can just bring it with me to the beach or bring it with me wherever I'm at to kind of get musical ideas started. And so what was happening is I wasn't making new stuff on the OPZ because I had incredible stuff already created on my one OPZ already, and that was kind of bothering me a little bit. I'm like, you know, it would be kind of cool to have one used at home where it's like my performance machine, right? It's filled with all of the best tracks that I've ever created on the OPZ, and then having a second one that's more of a exploratory thing. Now that's probably doable with one, you know, device itself, right? You could have one, you can create stuff on like some tracks, and then you can have like your permanent tracks over here or something, and then continuously back up and like transfer files and et cetera, et cetera. But I did not like that at all. My thought is to use this as a complete explore device. Like the first thing that I'm actually going to do with this before I even start doing anything, I'm going to just like re-listen to and like re-perform some of the stuff that's on the stock, on it by stock already, like the patterns, because I remember some of them being pretty cool when I first got mine 6 years ago. Man, it's crazy it's been that long. Fun fact, this is actually the first Teenage Engineering device that I ever purchased, the OPZ, back in 2018. It's one of the only ones that I've happened to have to purchase as well because, you know, of the awesome relationship and how gracious the team over in Sweden has been with my content and supporting the channel and stuff. But ultimately, yeah, I'm very excited. I want to actually open this up right now. And I think also at home, I'm going to switch out, like the Rumble module is my favorite module. I love the Rumble module. It's absolutely not a gimmick. It's just so dope to me. So this is what's going to be used on my like travel OPZ per se. And I don't remember how to even open this exactly. Like you just tear there and then I think you just pull out or something. I don't remember how it, like, okay, it doesn't matter. Let's, oh, there you go. You just tear and then pull out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool, got it. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out and we have our OPZ right here. This is what it looks like. And yeah, we're gonna go in with this, guys. We're gonna go in with the OPZ. I'm excited to have a second one. Again, thank you very much to TE for the hookup. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm not gonna unbox and do all the other stuff with it right now. Let me actually just power it on real quick. And right, this is, yeah. And I want to say one more thing too before I end this video and go get my workout in. So I've been giving a lot of thought lately to my channel and my journey with music production and with music technology. And I just want to say that there's so many companies making music gear, devices, new instruments. There's always going to be new things coming out. The new thing, right? That we as producers, as YouTubers, like we feel this need, some of us, most of us maybe, to get the new thing, to learn the new thing, to play with it, to talk about it, to share it with our community, et cetera, et cetera. But we have to be so careful. Unless if our channel is that, like the Loop Hops of the world, that's like the main one I can think of, where his channel is getting new things and doing a hell of a job displaying it, talking about it, explaining all the ins and outs of it. I'm blown away with how he's able to do that, quite frankly. But unless if that's what you do, if you're a music producer, if you're a creator, if you're a musician like myself, we have to be very careful with thinking that we need everything. The more stuff that we feel like we need, the more stuff that we get, the less time we're being creative, aren't we? The more time that we're trying to learn the new thing, and maybe liking it, maybe we jive with it, maybe we don't. Like the amount of fun that I have with the OPZ, I suspect that there is a lot of people out there that either got an OPZ and it didn't click with them because maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe they didn't spend enough time learning it, but if they did, because this was the only thing they had, like was my case in 2018, they might love it more than any other piece of gear, like me. And then I think the same can be said about so many other pieces of music gear that I've gotten over the years that I just didn't give enough time using, learning, because I was disinterested. I was interested enough to get it, but not interested enough to learn it. And I think that's a really important distinction. So I just kind of encourage you guys, if you're watching this, if you're a content creator or if you're not, to just be mindful about the fact that there's always going to be something new. And we should never not have time that we're designating to the things that we know that we love in terms of music making. Like there's some group of things over here that we know how to use this app or this product and we're great at using it and we find so much enjoyment using it and being creative, and there's always something, I was gonna say always something new to learn, maybe not always something new to learn, maybe there is, maybe there isn't, right? And I'll talk about that in a second. And then there's maybe a smaller group of things that we are learning, right? We're exploring how to use something so that we can kind of keep, or maybe that this side is super small, maybe it's non-existent, maybe we're like, yo, nah, I don't care about new stuff, I just want to like keep being creative with the stuff that I already know. I think either side is fine. For me, I'm learning that the balance is like, yeah, the things that are over here are my Nord piano. I'm a piano player, I'm a pianist, so I always want to have time for that. It's the OPZ. I love sequencing on this thing more than any other sequencer. I've said that this is the best sequencer ever created, in my opinion, and I stand by that for many reasons. And there's videos on the channel somewhere to talk about that. And then Core Gadget. I'm back with Core Gadget. That's my DAW. I love using Core Gadget. It's so much fun to use. It's so instant. And the thing is, okay, those are my main things. So I always need to make sure that I'm cultivating that and creating with those things. But then over here, what do we have over here? Like, what am I currently kind of learning and actually coincidentally currently having some fun with, because it's not so many things I'm learning? It's Ableton. Ableton 12, I had this like live stream session the other day in a cafe when I was going in, and it was just so much fun. It was such an incredible experience. Let's leave it at that. So I think that's what I wanted to talk about today. So we'll leave it there. I'm actually kind of curious about how this sounds. I'm looking at I'm using obviously this microphone, this wireless mic, and the DJI Pocket 3. I think the microphone is very sensitive, and as I'm looking at like the meters going up, like it's never too loud where it's getting past the red, where it's clipping or not having often, hopefully. But I think hopefully soon they come out with like a way to control mic sensitivity, if that's not available already. But we'll leave it at that. Let me know below. I'm curious to know if any of this resonated with you, and if it did, let me know in the comments below. And also let me know, like, what are your main ways of making music? Like, let me know, like, I use this and this, these are my bread and butter, and I'm currently learning and exploring this or these things. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious about that. Let's keep the conversation going. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Also, let me give a quick shout out to my Patreon. So I want to talk about this regularly on the channel, because Patreon is a place where you can follow me for free, be a part of my community for free, and keep the conversation going, not when I'm not on a YouTube video or not when I'm live streaming. It's a place where I want to cultivate a community of creators who are like-minded. I want to do AMAs on there every so often, at least once a month, where people who are members can jump onto this Zoom session and ask me questions, and I can answer them and ask each other questions, etc. So I think that's going to be awesome. And it's also going to be a place where I inevitably have an ongoing routine of my chord progressions and tutorials for the chord progressions. I'm very close to getting that going, so bear with me. But I actually asked my patrons, like, what do you guys want to see? And a lot of people are about the chord progression and just seeing me work through learning a chord progression to, you know, a specific song. So that's going to be coming soon. I'll have it all on Patreon, and I'll probably do some of those videos on YouTube as well, like maybe 10% of them, 1 out of every 10 or something, so that people can still get some of the value on YouTube, but understand that like the full breadth of the content will be on my Patreon. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. I'm glad I had a chance to do this video. I love making these car videos when I have something to say, right? As opposed to just being just blah. I'm energetic, I'm enthused, I'm excited to talk about this stuff. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video, and wish me luck on my interview today at 3 p.m. Peace. I'll let you know how that goes on the next video. Take care.